Welcome to our Asian Star Trend channel. Today we have the following news. Hope you and your friend after the proposal, Yu Long's silent devotion to Yang Mie finally comes to light. For years, the entertainment world saw Yu Long as a man of few words, someone who avoided gossip and grand gestures. But behind that quiet demeanor was a story that could move even the most skeptical heart. Now, after his surprise proposal to Yang Mie, the truth is out and it's rewriting everything fans thought they knew about love and showbiz. Unlike the whirlwind romances staged for cameras, Yu Long's love unfolded in silence. No flashy dates, no headline-grabbing declarations. Instead, his affection revealed itself through the little things: a gaze during interviews, a subtle gesture in shared screen time, an unspoken protectiveness that fans can now trace back with clarity. The proposal wasn't just a romantic gesture, it was a quiet culmination of years of loyalty, waiting, and trust. When Yu Long got down on one knee, he wasn't just asking for marriage, he was finally giving a voice to everything he had held back in an industry obsessed with speed and spectacle. Yu Long's love story is a rare reminder of something deeper, that true emotion doesn't need noise. It needs time. As fans revisit old clips, decoding every glance and gesture, many are left with more than just admiration. They walk away reminded that real love doesn't scream, it endures. And sometimes, it takes years to bloom publicly. Yu Long's story isn't just a romance, it's a quiet revolution. One that teaches us, the most powerful declarations don't always come with words. After years of silence, Yu Long's hidden love for Yang Mie finally surfaces with a ring. He never made a grand confession, never shouted his feelings to the world. But for those who watched closely, every subtle gesture, every glance, every smile whispered of a love deeper than words. Yu Long isn't a man of drama. He doesn't speak much. But through the smallest details, he's been telling one story for years: his unwavering love for Yang Mie. For the longest time, their bond was misunderstood. Colleagues, maybe even brothers, that's what the public assumed. After all, Yu Long never crossed a line. He stood by Mie like a silent guardian, always present, never overbearing. When Mie sprained his ankle, Yu Long rushed to his side with a panic that betrayed far more than friendship. He'd adjust Mie's collar mid-shoot, remind him gently when he forgot a line, shield him from cold winds on set. But the world simply saw professionalism until now. With one quiet proposal, everything changed. No flashy event, no press leaks. Just Yu Long, kneeling before the one person he's loved in silence for years. The room held its breath. And when Mie said yes, the entire industry seemed to exhale, finally understanding the depth behind every quiet act of care. Yu Long's story isn't just a love story. It's a lesson in patience, devotion, and the kind of love that grows in silence but lasts forever. Fans aren't just moved, they're inspired. Because in the world obsessed with noise, Yu Long proved that the quietest love stories can sometimes be the loudest in our hearts. The love that needed no words. Yu Long's silent devotion to Yang Mie now rings louder than ever. Some love stories aren't told, they're shown. In the way a gaze lingers. In the softness of a smile that appears only for one person. Every time Yang Mie enters the frame, Yu Long's expression shifts. His eyes sparkle, his guard drops, and for a fleeting second, the stoic actor disappears, replaced by a man quietly in love. Even under the glare of a dozen cameras, Yu Long can't help but sneak glances. Have you ever seen him smile so gently at anyone else? Only Mie draws that warmth from him. When Mie laughs, Yu Long lights up. When he falters, Yu Long is the first to step forward, handing over a script, a bottle of water, a steadying hand on the stairs. Never flashy, never forceful. Just always there behind the scenes. Their bond deepens. After multiple retakes left Mie visibly frustrated, a clip shows Yu Long standing quietly nearby, eyes full of unspoken concern. He said nothing, but his silence wrapped around Mie like armor. And when Mie seemed ready to give up, Yu Long's voice was soft but firm: "It's okay, let's do it again." Not as encouragement from a colleague, but as someone who was in this fight with him. And now, with a simple but heartfelt proposal, the truth is no longer hidden. Yulong's years of silent support have finally blossomed into something official in an industry where love is often performed. This story reminds us that real devotion is quiet, steadfast, and deeply moving. Sometimes, the loudest love is the one never spoken until now. Is it real? The silent proof of Yulong's love lies in the details. Are they faking it? Fans have whispered for years. The glances, the gestures, were they scripted, or something more? But the answer was always there, hidden in plain sight. Yulong never denied the rumors. He never clarified them either. Instead, he chose silence not out of indifference, but protection. His quiet message was clear: I'm with you. Don't worry. Just be yourself. True love doesn't always need a microphone. It doesn't crave the spotlight. It stays calm, constant, quietly unshakable. For Yulong, devotion isn't about grand declarations. It's about everyday choices. In the chaos of filming, he never seeks attention. He adjusts the lighting to favor Yang Mie. He positions himself to shield him from harsh angles or crowded sets. He ensures Mie always gets the best camera shot, and he does it without ever calling it out. This isn't polite professionalism. It's instinctual care. When Mie coughs, Yulong hands him hot water before anyone else notices. When exhaustion creeps in after long shoots, he's the one gently draping a coat over his shoulders. Not once has he said, "I'll always be by your side," yet his actions say it constantly. And now, with the quiet proposal still fresh in the public's mind, everything makes sense. The years of wordless support weren't vague gestures, they were promises. Yulong didn't fall in love out loud. He simply stayed, waited, and chose him again and again. In a world driven by performance, Yulong reminds us that real love is rarely loud. It's found in the shadows, in the patience, in the kindness that never asks for credit, only the chance to protect. In a world of the loud love, Yulong's quiet vows speak the loudest. He never made sweeping promises, never uttered the usual declarations of forever. But Yulong has written the most profound vows through his actions, silent, steady, and impossibly sincere. In an age where love often feels like a transaction, his quiet loyalty feels like a rare and precious artifact. This isn't about duty. It's about tenderness, the kind that comes not from obligation, but from genuine care. To center your world around someone without ever demanding attention in return, that kind of love can't be performed. It can only be felt. And only those who've experienced it understand just how rare it is. Yulong's silence has never been a weakness. It's never been avoidance. It is strength, restraint, and deep respect. He doesn't chase the spotlight, nor does he try to steal it. He simply stands where he's always stood, next to Yang Mie. A quiet protector. A constant presence. Like a tree weathering every storm without ever boasting about the cold. In interviews, he speaks little. But when he does, it's measured always to protect Mie's image, never to center himself. His silence is a choice. A form of love that doesn't overshadow, but uplifts, because sometimes, silence is not the absence of words, it's the presence of something deeper. It's knowing that no speech, no caption, no headline could ever match the power of simply being there. Always. And now, with a single proposal, that silent love is no longer hidden. It's official. But even so, fans know Yulong's most beautiful love story was never written in grand declarations. It was written in everything he never had to say, the love that bloomed in silence. Yulong and Yang Mie's quiet triumph through every small gesture. Yulong seemed to whisper to the world, "Whether you see me or not, I'm here. Even if I'm only your shadow, I'm willing." How many of us have longed for someone like that? Someone who doesn't need grand confessions or solemn vows, just someone who stays. Always. That kind of quiet love, so ordinary on the surface, has the power to pierce straight through the heart. A man who seems composed, even aloof, softens completely for one person. And when that happens, the world slows down. For fans, Yulong was always the rational, emotionless figure. But next to Yang Mie, that image unraveled. He grew nervous. He stumbled over his words. He glowed. And in those moments, the depth of his affection could no longer be denied. This wasn't performance. It was instinct. Blocking the wind, opening bottles, standing protectively nearby, habits formed not by obligation, But by love Yulong never simply worked with Yang Mie. He cherished him. Quietly, wholeheartedly. He didn't just want to act beside him, he wanted to build a life with him. Their journey wasn't flashy. It wasn't loud. It was patient. It was real. From colleagues to companions, they didn't announce love, they grew into it. And when they finally held hands in front of the world, it felt like everyone's quiet wish had finally come true. The man who loved in silence was not left unseen. The devotion that waited was finally answered. Their union isn't just a love story, it's a testament to tenderness, to time, and to truth. In a world obsessed with speed and spectacle, they remind us, the slowest love is often the most sincere. The one that walks beside you quietly to the very end is the one that stays. Their story had its misunderstandings, its pauses, its shadows. But in the end, it had light. And two people, walking hand in hand. Maybe, just maybe, that's the kind of love we all hope for. Have you ever been quietly protected by someone? Or have you offered silent love that no one else saw? Share your story in the comments. Your voice might just inspire someone else. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, save, and follow, and tell us which screen couple should we talk about next. Until then, keep believing in the quiet kind of love.